Shall I introduce this, or you can? I'm not sure.
No, go on, Stephen. You.
This is I, Stephen Parker. I'm I'm happy to be in the presence of Olga Tangerman, who is using a form of typology questionnaire, and she's hoping to discover certain things relating to which of various socionics types I belong to, or sociotypes, as it's sometimes called. This is part one, and the following parts she'll be using the same questionnaire, perhaps with some reinterpretations of questions and with Slovenians. So it's very interesting. I've looked at the questionnaire before, and so in particular, what is this questionnaire? Does it place people in? I'm just going to explain to the viewers who know nothing about this. This is a Jungian type of typology, and the 16 base types are within four quadrants based on favored elements. So is it a quadrants test, or is it a generally a typology test?
Okay, can I say a couple of words? Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Before we start. Okay, so basically this is my questionnaire.
Yeah,
and I use it as a part of associative psychodiagnostics. It is a verbal part. Yeah, and what I assess is your relation, how you see how you yourself on the functions. That is all what I will be assessing your functions and relating it to model A. So to use this questionnaire, you actually need to know model A. You need to know what functions are, which one are rational or irrational, statics, dynamics, extroverted, introverted, and what you have got in the model A of every type.
Yes. Yes.
So, and we shall see now, depending on the results, what functions where and how to relate to model A. And also, what is good, you shall see consistencies and inconsistencies. The first part of the questionnaire will ask you to evaluate yourself on a Jung function, so general view like logic, sensing, ethics, intuition. And second part is actually 8 informational aspects, how you relate to it, how you feel about it. What else? Yeah, and if it will be inconsistency, we kind of see it. And this questionnaire is actually different because when you usually answer any questionnaire, you kind of don't think about it. You think that you answer how you are. Your main task is to be sincere, and the consultant will evaluate it. This is not exactly the case. So you evaluate yourself, and you will try to convince me and everybody else that that is true. It's more not believe it or not questionnaire. So you say, it's not enough just to say, I'm intuitive, or I am this and that. You need actually to bring from your life some arguments, facts related to the situations which are repeating themselves, typical for you. And then you support it with the facts, and at the end I can say, you know what, I believe you on that, or I believe you not, or I don't believe you. So that's what it is.
Yes. Because I was I think that the source of language people use will be very telling as well. If one favors or dislikes a certain element, that will come across the more they say, won't it? I think.
Exactly. That's why video is important. That's why I stopped doing the writing, answering and writing. It takes so much time, and much better to record the video. Okay, so shall we start, Stephen?
We shall start. Yes.
Okay. So I will read the first questions. So the first questions, you introduce yourself, yeah? You tell about
Yes, that'd be useful. My name is Stephen Parker. What's that?
That's good.
Yes. I mean, we may just to say we may. It's possible we will edit this video at some point if there's anything that makes it too slow. But yeah. So, I've already written on this page Olga's test.
Is
One.
haven't joined us because I see something happens. No?
There's always something happening, something going wrong with these computers. That's the only thing we can guarantee with computers is they will go wrong the whole time.
Slavan hasn't joined us yet, no? No, because
Yeah, let's just check up on Slovan.
because I see something, some messages on Google Plus. Okay. All right. Well, because we record the video, we need to get on, otherwise people will be bored too.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I'll just cut that bit out. It's all right.
First of all, I would like to hear, about your interests and hobbies, favorite subjects at school, professionals' interests and ambitions.
When you say interest at school, is it more useful if I talk about my earlier childhood up until the age of about 10, or should I talk about up until the age of 18? If you see what I mean.
No, try to stick to what I exactly say and try not to go away and bring some other stuff. So be very, very concrete. Try to be like that because there is only certain information that interests me. Okay.
Well, okay, but I'll start at the beginning. When I was at school, I was interested in space, science fiction. I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to work with robotics in particular. My two favourite subjects were languages, namely French, and science. Though I didn't really like the way science was taught, so I lost interest at that point. And in terms of hobbies, personal interests, that I have now, some of which I had then, very, very keen on art, in particular illustration and music. Music, as well as I play several instruments, including the violin. I am very interested in writing, music production, very keen on computers and technology. I'm not highly trained in it. I'm keen on acting. Various radio broadcasting, and what else? In terms of interests, as I said, writing and criticism are very important. I very much like to challenge people on bad ideas. That is actually a hobby. Actually, it's rather a problem for me. I have to challenge people, and that is something of a sport. And I've recently taken up chess as well, which is chess. all kinds of games. I'm very, very keen on games. Card games of all descriptions. I find them very very involving. I'm very, very serious when I'm playing chess and any game. Even games with cards that don't involve money. Also, I'm interested in academic subjects. I like behavioural biology very much, and generally psychology. It's I have endless energy for that subject, as well as music and psychology. The two things that I can't ever tire of participating in.
Okay. Stephen, what do you think? What other people appreciate in you, and what do they criticize you in you? Yeah.
What they appreciate, people will say that I seem to be a nice person, kind person. They seem to see me as very knowledgeable, which I'm not. I don't actually think is true. And people who I meet will tend to say one or two things. So, oh, you seem like a very clever person. Another thing's very. I'm very honest and direct with my answers. I don't hold back the truth. What I say is not my trying to get out of situations. I say things just quite literally as they are. I don't really have any reason to lie most of the time.
Okay. Do you know your type in Socionics? Can you share some thoughts about your type?
Some sorts.
Yeah, I mean, do you know your type?
Yeah. Yes. I have. I mean, if we're going to go by intertype relations and such, it's type I and I. My thoughts about the type are that, in terms of those that I've met, in terms of the type, it explains a lot. And if we're going to, I meant to go back to the problems. The previous question: what people have problems? The problems they have with me are the way I will behave within groups and strangers. My behaviour has constantly been picked up, and that really I would tell people how it is. That if the people are behaving like idiots, I would just tell them. I would say that you're wrong, and I'll tell them why they're wrong. And the critical aspect, as I understand it, as well as my the way my particular type relates to other types, it does explain why I is correct. I can easily find my supervisor, so to speak. I know I can say that these 8 people are a particular type. Another thing that I think is the intuition. I can intuitively tell what people are most of the time. Okay. So if 1,000 people will not be able to tell what a certain person is really, their true character, I know their true character very well. I have this insight into what it is. You see what I mean?
So what you're saying is that people criticize you for behaving in the group because you are very direct in what you think.
It's directness. It's harshness that I think if people are misbehaving in a way, I will punish them. Essentially, I will tell them, and I will. Even my close relations and friends, if people say things that are too outside of what I think they really, if their thinking is too bad, so to speak. If it's something I know is not true, and I am disgusted at them not using the brains to consider that this is stupid, this is incorrect. The truth, temporarily, the truth comes before their personal feelings. So it's not unlikely that I will lose contact with members of my family because what they say is so flagrantly nonsense, and they insist on undermining me, that saying, oh, why I'm wrong, and arguing with things that have no basis, have no facts at all.
Okay.
Fantasy, yeah. So
Oh, sure. Okay, we shall move on. You have described very well. So we have got 4 functions, and I want to know how you relate to these 4 functions. Wait a second. Kind of. Okay, it looks like I don't see it. Wait a second. I'm just looking for. Oh, I found my site. Okay, the first function is logics. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
What I would like you to talk about, if you are strong in logics, in arguments and conflicts with other people, you do not delve into their subjective feelings and motives, but seek objective rationale for everything. You are convinced by references of rule and facts, solid arguments. You are able to explain the logic behind various mechanisms, acts. You rely on your mind. You may not always understand the reaction of other people to your words. You find it difficult to interpret people's emotions. Sometimes or often, you are not always sure how you feel about others or how others may feel about you. You would prefer people to say it to you directly, how they relate to you, or show, yeah. You may find it easier to work with computer technologies, figures, or say knowledge, abstract knowledge, and so on. So this is logics, and I need you to say, is it good for you, not good, or you are not sure? Is it yours subject, not yours, or you are not sure? Your function or not yours, or you're not sure?
I think it's very good because I can give an interesting example if you want of another. He actually explains logic to me quite well. Another test that somebody gave me, and actually the question was on logics. I was asked to describe a pyramid, how I would construct a pyramid. It's a typical psyche yoga question. Now, logic in me will manifest in that I will ask, why, what are the parameters of that question? And the fact the question to me seems so utterly illogical that you're asking me how would I construct a pyramid? I don't have the knowledge to do that. Are you talking about the shape of a pyramid? Are you talking of a pyramid the likes of which are in Egypt? So I was like, give me parameters. And so later on, the logical way for me would say, okay, I've designed the pyramid. I will just video myself making a pyramid from clay, and that's technically a pyramid in terms of the in so much as the vagueness of the question, if you see what I mean. And I find some technical things very easy. Like I have just straight away, I built a table for my chair, and it just seemed very natural to me. It has a reinforcement that curves, and it just seems so natural. The curve would be very good in terms of taking a lot of the weight. It would redistribute pressure somehow. So these things are quite natural. You know, building seeing inside machines, being able to visualize inside machines.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah,
that's good. So now we talk about ethics. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's more difficult.
You you delve, or I don't know, delve. What was the written? You are interested into people's feelings, motives, needs. You are very able to harmonize and inspire people around you. You always there for others. You enjoy being and working with people. You value human rights and morality. You feel confident about understanding other people's problems and resolving the disputes between them. If you make an argument and fall apart with a person, you usually know what to do in order to get back together. You can always find words of moral support and encouragement. You can say sorry even if it wasn't your fault. You trust your heart. So you live not by your mind, by the feelings, and they are your priority. So how you feel about this? Is ethics yours, not yours, or you are not sure?
Uh, it's not sure towards good. I do enjoy interactions with people. They're one of the reasons. They're one of the best. That's one of the best things about being alive. I know what to say to people to make them feel better, but I do not really. I don't really do it emotionally. I have advice for them, but there's this peculiar gap that I don't care. I care technically. I want their situation to improve, but I'm not empathically distressed as they are. I tend to. It sounds terrible. I tend to view them as problems that I have to solve. The worst thing when it comes to ethics that I have is I do not get on well in classroom groups at all. I will not engage with people unless they engage with me first. I just to be involving myself with a lot, a group of as many as 10 people would be unnatural. I would have to think very, very carefully about what I have to say to them, right? But in terms of ethical things, I do care about human rights, but as strange as it sounds, I don't care that deeply about humans. I'm not that bothered when I hear about terrible tragedies, though sometimes I will be. Most of the time, I have this great distance. I would help somebody if they needed help on the street, but this is very strange to me myself. Is that I don't have the reaction. I can care somewhat, when people tell me something that is tragic, but half the time there was a great distance. I'm quite unaffected by it. Does it make sense? It's strange to me to say that, but I'm rather disconnected. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So it does mean that sometimes when you watch films, you are not cry. You do not cry.
No, well, I won't be crying, but I can become very, very I will become very emotionally involved in certain films and TV programs. Very much so.
Okay,
But
but
not crying usually.
not cry.
I'm actually very much like that. I'd like to find myself crying over films, but on the whole, I don't, unless I want to, and I say to myself, "Oh yes, this is sad."
Okay.
And I don't want other people crying over films around me. I really don't like it. I want them to just stop it or do that when they are alone, not with me. I don't like it.
All right. So
Yeah.
how, on the whole, you already kind of said that you are not sure about your
No,
how
not
strong
sure.
is it. So
Not sure. I don't think it's that bad, but
okay,
it's not that. It's not the best either. Yeah.
okay, okay.
So,
So that's what we put. I put plus for logic, yeah. I put the question for ethics, how you evaluate it. And now we move to intuition. Okay, how strong you feel about intuition? Having insights, relying heavily on intuition in order to problem solve, keeping options open for as long as possible in order not to rush decisions, having ability to recognize a scam or con artist, making valid predictions as to the cause and outcome of events, an ability to use your imagination whenever necessary, and fabricate a story at any time to convince others, spontaneously finding your way out of the situation. This is roughly what this intuition is about.
it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'd say very good.
Very good. So we shall put 2 pluses, but now you need to tell why do you think this way.
As an example, I will see people for what they are. Really, they cannot. People have a very hard time lying to me. I can tell a lie straight away. I will use intuition to help in investigating things, but not purely. When it comes to certain subjects, I feel intuitively that this is important. That this even though it is somewhat of outside of popularly accepted logic, that some things are just the truth, and they require investment. If you see what I mean. So in certain ideas, I will just sense their importance, and I'll make kind of leaps of intellectual faith, so to speak. I will predict things.
Okay.
I mean, I believe, for instance, I believe that we will be reminded of things that we ignore in our dreams. The things that we don't pay attention to that will come up. In fact, what we really at times one finds what they really want. They only know. I will only know until I experience it in a dream, and I realize that yes, this is far more important than I thought.
So you believe you have got strong imagination?
Oh, I know it's very strong. Yeah, yeah. In fact, you could almost say I live within my imagination. It's very strong. I mean, I think about imaginative concepts a lot of the time.
So you
I
rely.
have a lot of ideas. I have lots of new ideas.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
we shall put 2 stars for intuition, and now we shall move on to sensing. You are a materialist. You appreciate and collect the beautiful and quality items. You like to touch, hold, or smell objects to check them out for texture and quality. You rely on your senses substantially on a day-to-day basis. You can protect yourself and adequately apply physical force in order to gain control over situation. You are able to work in environments which occasionally may involve noxious odors and disagreeable sights. You can work through stressful situations and easily resist giving in to others. You appreciate open and sincere people who talks business. You do not read between the lines, do not like ambiguity, always asking for specific examples and more details. If you don't understand something, if you don't understand something.
It sounds very accurate. I really don't like ambiguity, and sensuous things are very important to me. It's, for instance, I bought a chess set, and I find myself feeling the stone, feeling the weight of the stone. I like I like this jacket. It's not only because I like how it looks. I like how it fits, how it feels. So I really like color. I like different colors. I like good cookery and such. I do appreciate these things. I would. The funny thing about noxious odors is that when I was in school, some of the classes I liked the least, or I stopped liking them because of how the environment was. It was very filthy. I didn't like that. So the classrooms that were cleaner were my favourite classes. The ones that were not, uh, I didn't like. So yes, that's why I stopped. I seriously, I'll be honest. I stopped liking science. One of the reasons I stopped liking it was the laboratories smelled disgusting. They smelled of burned hair, of methane. I found it disgusting. So I stopped liking science because of that.
Okay, but you know what? I mean, you just said that intuition is very strong, but you cannot have intuition and sensing to be strong.
No. But of course, the thing is, but another thing is, I do find alternatively, I will ignore my environment somewhat because this place where I live it is rather organised, but also it has mess and such, and I can easily shut that out. And I don't like it in other people when they are too obsessed with sensory things, or they encourage me to be. It's perhaps not as good as I think it is, if you see what I mean. But it's not bad. It's not terrible either.
Okay. So, how you would rate sensing? Like in yourself, like.
I'd say average, maybe.
But you need to appreciate: is it your strong function, or is it not your strong functions, or you're not sure? Because when
this is interesting. I would class it. I would class it as strong personally, which doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't make.
No, but I wouldn't class it as strong as intuition. So I'm not sure.
Okay, sensing. What is it? Sensing. Sensing means people are good at creating the comfort, sensual comfort, and people create nice sensual environment, or they're just powerful. They're powerful and they use. They're very powerful. You feel it, and they use physical force. Yeah. How do you relate, for example, to people who is using physical force?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it when people are projecting aggression at all. I want them just to be away to really get as far away from me as possible.
Okay.
But I can enjoy using it myself. I can be very rather assertive and aggressive.
Well,
when I need to be.
yeah, being assertive.
Want to be.
Yeah, maybe being assertive is slightly different towards you.
I can feel. I can feel aggression. I can feel aggression emanating from people.
Are you a pushy person?
Good question. In some situations, I can be, but not on the whole. I try not to be.
Okay. At the moment, we should just. You believe it is strong. I will put it as strong. So
Okay.
now, because it is your evaluation, yeah. Because everyone will look at your video and they will evaluate by their own, means. No, For us, it's important how you see yourself. So, okay, we have got now logic, ethics, intuition, and sensing. Now you need to make a priority. Something what you believe is the strongest in you, you know, we should put on the first place. And what is least strongest at the back. So how would you prioritize these functions in yours?
Process functions, I would, intuition is strongest.
Okay, we should put intuition first. What would be the next one? The next strongest?
It's curious. As odd as it sounds, I would say logic second. I don't consider myself to be good. I don't consider myself to be the most brilliant when it comes to logics, but it's still strong. It's very natural.
Well, maybe you feel proud of your logics. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes. Of course. Yeah.
Then we should put it then second. Yeah. Okay. Intuition, logic. What is sort of neutral? You consider neutral in yourself.
Look at the neutral. I would say sensing, introverted sensation.
Okay.
It's rather neutral.
And the last one comes to ethics. Yeah, that's how we think the strongest function in you. Okay. So what should we do now? Shall we stop now and make another video so that the people don't get very bored? Or we shall carry on? How you feel?
I think it will be okay. I would just make this into 2 videos, so it will be okay. Yeah.
So we shall carry on?
Yeah, because if I stop, it will cause a problem. Yeah, it will be. But I suppose I tell you what, I'm going to change. I'm going to revert. I think to stop and to make a second video. That would be a good idea, actually.
Yes.
Save time.
Okay. Yeah. Then this finish then for the first part.
Yes, stopping now.